Back on Get Up, time for Sound Off. Interesting people saying interesting things. We start with the Cleveland Browns general manager, Andrew Berry, who had this to say about the outstanding trade request of their outstanding player, Myles Garrett.
Understand the trade request and everything, but our stance really has not changed. We can't imagine a situation where not having Myles as a part of the organization is best for the Browns.
So that was a lot fewer words. Remember, we opened the show this morning saying, oh, Sean McVay had a lot of words when he was asked about Matthew Stafford. Graziano, that was noticeably fewer words from the Browns. What does that mean? Uh-oh.
I got you. That's on me.
There we go, Dan.
I apologize. We've only been doing the Zoom thing 5 years. I'm not used to it yet. What it means is the Browns mean what they say. They are telling teams that call that this is their stance. They are not planning to move him. I talked to a couple teams yesterday that either might or should be interested, and they're all saying there's nothing cooking on this right now. They don't seem to want to trade him. So his cap number goes up from $19.7 million to $36 million if they trade him. They could avoid that if they wait till after June 1st to trade him, but at that point you're trading for 2026 draft picks. At this point, the Browns' best solution, they believe, and they're probably correct, is to work something out with Myles Garrett.
Yeah, but then, of course, it takes two to tango, and Myles Garrett was everywhere during Super Bowl week, including on our show on Sunday NFL Countdown, saying that he wants out. Do you think this thing gets ugly? We all know what players have to do in the NFL in order to make something happen. D. Wood, do you think he's going to do that?
I don't even know if ugly is the word, because when I think of Myles Garrett, he is the face of the organization, not only in the building, but in the community. He's such a revered player in there. But you're right. I think the only recourse for Myles Garrett is to withhold his services. But at the end of the day, numbers matter, right? We're talking about you want the draft picks this year. You don't want to wait till 2026.
Right.
If the cap hit goes up astronomically, if you try to trade him, it doesn't make any sense for the Cleveland Browns. So I think, unfortunately, I just don't see how Myles Garrett gets out of this situation in Cleveland.
Yeah, and his situation is more like, hey guys, I don't want to be bad anymore. I want to prove to me that we're going to be good. Prove to me that we're going to get this turned around. And I honestly, that starts probably for him at quarterback. Who's our quarterback going to be? So the timing is the part that's brutal. But to Damien's point, and I think that this is important, some guys don't want to, I don't want to say ruin their legacy, but ruin their reputation as somebody that is selfish or me first, or turn their back on a community that they've been so entrenched in. Some people don't want to do it, and then, quite honestly, they should be commended for it.
Yeah, I understand that part of it too. Joe Thomas is the sort of parallel everyone will make. He never left, he never won. Myles Garrett, I think, looks at that and sounds to me like a guy who says, I want to win, and there's no reason to think I'm going to do it here. Our next sound off takes us to Philadelphia. Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni, Super Bowl champion, had this to say about Green Bay's proposal to ban the tush push.
I almost feel a little insulted because we worked so hard at that play. The amount of things that we've looked into how to coach that play, the fundamentals, there's different ways we figured out how to practice it. The fact that it's an automatic thing, that we work really, really hard, and our guys are talented at this play. The fact that it's a successful play for the Eagles and people want to take that away, I think is a little unfair.
D. Wood, should they ban the tush push?
Hell no. No. What are we've gotten so soft about this whole thing. Oh, I can't stop the tush push. Now you want to just ban it altogether. Stop it. If you want to see it eliminated, stop it. And oh, by the way, I think the Buffalo Bills have a higher percentage of success doing the tush push than the Philadelphia Eagles. So this is just nonsense.
To me, it goes against everything. Remember that Bill Parcells quote, this is why you lift all them weights, right? That's why you do it. Damien Wody was a first-round draft pick as a center. It had been 6 years before a center got in the first round for a reason, right? Go ahead, try to stop it. The Eagles have invested in big, strong offensive linemen. They've invested in.
Right.
They've invested in a quarterback that is a strong quarterback. It's a personnel advantage. And then it's also how you coach it, the time you allot to it. To me, get bigger, stronger defensive linemen. You want to stop it. To me, this is crazy.
Dan Graziano, is there any reason to believe, we know the Packers are the team that suggested this, And you see on your screen, Mark Murphy said the play is, quote, bad for the game. Is there any reason to believe it goes beyond that?
You mean any reason to believe they'll ban it? No,
Yes.
I don't think that they will. So when this came up a couple of years ago, they had basically 1 year of the Eagles doing it, nobody else doing it, and they wanted to study it more. Now, as D. Wood mentioned, the Bills do it. It's been 3 years of running the play, so they have the data. If they have data that says there's a higher injury rate on this play than other plays, then I think there's a chance that they end up banning it. Short of that, I don't think they're going to do it just because the Eagles are good at it.
And I would be shocked if the injury data comes back as being more significant. The injury plays are like guys sprinting down the field, like kickoff, like huge collisions. These guys are actually closer together on this. So like the idea that there's going to be heavy injury data, I think is ridiculous. I would also say this. It's hard. Damien and I were talking about this. Like, typically, a center will change his stance in short yardage or goal line situations, like to get low. Like, it's difficult to get the snap. We've seen the ball on the ground at times when the Eagles have tried to do the tush-push stuff. Like, there is skill and practice, like, associated with the play. It's not exciting, I'll grant you that, but there is skill. It's not easy. Like, to me, you're punishing somebody that's good at it, invested in players that are good at it.
For more than 50 years, there was a rule on the NFL books, Rule 12-1-4, that said that no offensive player may push the ball carrier. They removed that rule because they found it was difficult to officiate, which is a terrible reason to remove a rule, frankly. And now we're left with this play. Is there any argument to be made, regardless of the injury, regardless of how successful they are, that it's just unsightly? That just they change so many things to make the game more exciting? It is an extreme. Go ahead,
We're going to ban kneel downs too? What are we going to do?
Right.
Go ahead, Dan.
I think that's kind of Mark Murphy's point when he says it's bad for the game. It's ugly, right? Like, it's not fun to watch, and the NFL is cognizant of that. They're a television product. They want to be fun to. They moved the extra point back, remember, because it became too automatic.
Right.
And then they wanted to make that more of a dramatic play. They're still working on the kickoff because there's too many touchbacks they don't want. So if it's boring and automatic, then there is some sense among NFL owners that maybe we should at least look at it.
The problem is it's only automatic for like 2 teams.
Right.
If every team could do it, then you would have a better argument for banning.
You'll see the Niners doing it. You'd see the Falcons doing it.
If they do ban it, then I think that we'll just have a statue of Frankie Louvu just diving over the top of something. 12.
Rồi bây giờ sẽ móc tiếp nhé. Đây mình sẽ móc vào này. Siết phần dây trắng lại. Rồi bây giờ mình sẽ móc cái phần màu hồng này lên nhé mọi người. Bây giờ sẽ móc phần màu hồng lên. Móc từng mũi một. Hàng này thì mình sẽ dùng cái mũi nửa kép nhé. Móc mũi nửa kép. Tỷ lệ là 2-1 nhé. Cứ 2 mũi này thì mình móc một mũi đôi. Tiếp tục này. Cứ lần lượt từng mũi cho đến hết nhé. Cứ móc lần lượt như này là được nhé. Bây giờ mình sẽ móc tiếp những mũi tiếp theo. Tiếp tục móc nhé. Cứ móc lần lượt từng mũi như vậy. Tiếp tục này. Cứ làm luân phiên cho đến hết. Móc để được cái vòng màu hồng nhé. Vòng tròn màu hồng. Đây. Mình sẽ móc kín nó luôn. Tiếp tục này. Mũi tiếp theo này.